Hello YouTube, Cousin Kinoko here, welcome to another pickup video. First off, I picked up Geometry Wars Galaxies for the DS. I bought this on Amazon.de. I paid €4.60 including shipping for this. And the main reason I picked it up is because I've become pretty addicted to the Wii version of this game, which I think is really amazing, really addicting with the high score online leaderboards there. So been playing that over and over, trying to beat my scores. And the reason I picked this up is because there's a connectivity setting with the DS game. If you connect the DS with the Wii, then you can unlock a new galaxy on both games. And although I prefer the Wii version, it has better graphics and I prefer the controls. It's quite nice to have the DS version as well and being able to play this game on the go. And then at the flea market I picked up a sealed copy of Honeycomb Beat. This is a puzzle game from Hudson Soft. I paid €3.50 for that. Some PS1. I picked up Track and Field for the PS1 here, and I paid €1.50 for this. I haven't tried it, and I don't know if it's a good game or not. Well, Konami is known for making good games, so I'm guessing it's at least a decent game. And picked this up because I used to play Track and Field on my NES back in the day quite a lot, so I think it's pretty cool to have the PS1 version as well. One more PS1 game here for €1. I picked up G-Police. And yeah, it's complete, so for €1 I thought it's definitely worth picking up. I have never played this game before and I don't know if it's any good. It's from Psygnosis. And then on eBay I picked up, let's see if I can open this. I picked up Bill and Ted's Excellent Game Boy Adventure. This was one of those instances where I was just scrolling through auctions on eBay where no one had made a bid, and I just kept bidding €1 for on different things, and most of the time someone would bid over and I would bid more, and other times not, and then I ended up buying a couple of games that I probably wouldn't have bought, and they're not very good. One of them is this, which is you know, it's an LJN title, so obviously it's not the best Game Boy title out there, but it's not as bad as I was fearing. It plays a little bit like Chiller, and yeah, I paid I think it was €1.50 including shipping, which is probably not worth, so not something I recommend picking up. And the other auction that I ended up winning was Rampage World Tour for the Game Boy Color, and I paid €1.90 for this including shipping, which is definitely not worth. This is not a very good version of Rampage. There are definitely better versions out there, so don't pick this up. Then I picked up another Game Boy game at the flea market, and I'd never heard of this game before. It looked a bit interesting from the label. That's Dragonheart, and I thought it looked like an RPG, so that's pretty much why I picked it up. I paid €1.50 for this. And apparently it's based on a movie called Dragonheart that I haven't seen, a movie from the 90s, and there was also a game for the Sega Saturn that was released, which is supposed to be a really shitty game, but this one is just half decent. It's like, looks like a dungeon crawler, but it's really simple. Yeah, it doesn't really have any leveling up or any RPG elements like that, but you can pick up items and you can talk to people and you have to find the dragon on each level and kill the dragon. Not something I would recommend picking up, but it seems okay. Then I picked up kind of a strange item. This is a rare game. This game is made for a console that I don't even own. It was a Game Boy clone, and actually I have one more game for this system, which I also picked up at the flea market for very little. I paid 50 cents for this, and that's Armor Force for the Mega Duck, and all the titles for the Mega Duck are rare, but I don't know if they're worth anything. There was only one auction with Armor Force on eBay when I looked, and the guy wanted like 49 euros for it or something, which is probably never gonna get. I think the Megadeth games are pretty crappy. It's like poor man's Game Boy or something. But it, you know, all the titles are rare. I think it's interesting to I pick things up if it's a rare system or a rare game or something strange like this. I quite like that. So for 50 cents, definitely worth picking up. And this is a game that I've been wanting for a while, and it's the first Metroidvania style Castlevania game on the Game Boy Advance, known in the US and Japan as Circle of the Moon, and in Europe it's known simply as Castlevania, which I find very confusing because I've actually seen this game around before, and I hadn't picked it up back then when I saw it before, because I thought it was the NES Classic series and the original Castlevania for the NES, because it doesn't say Circle of the Moon here. But yeah, it's a really good game. There were 3 Castlevania games released for the GBA, and then there was the NES Classic of course as well. And yeah, they're all good. Symphony of the Night style gameplay, and great soundtrack, good graphics. Definitely one to pick up. Bought this on eBay for, including shipping, €5.40. Then I picked up Tetris World at the flea market for €2. Not a game I recommend picking up. It's not a very good Tetris game, and it doesn't save your high scores either. Has crappy graphics, and it's just generally an annoying game. So I kind of regret picking that up for €2 actually. Then I found this at the flea market as well for €1.50. This is a blue Game Boy Pocket. It's missing the battery lid on the back here, and it's generally in pretty poor condition. I did open it up and clean it thoroughly, so it looks a lot better now than it did when I bought it. I'm actually planning to sell this, but I thought for €1.50 I can pick that up, and it had a game inside it. That's Killer Instinct for the Game Boy. You know, obviously not the best way to play Killer Instinct. It's really simplified, really muddy graphics. You can hardly see what's going on the screen. So I'd rather pick up the SNES version of that game, obviously. But yeah, I didn't have that game in my collection, so I'm gonna hold on to that for now and sell the Game Boy Pocket. And I picked up Maximo for the PS2. I have Maximo, what is it called? I have the second game in the series for the PS2, and I really like that game, so I've been looking for the first one. Finally I found it. €3.50. Unfortunately it's missing the manual, but still decided to pick it up because I really want to play this. And yeah, this is kind of like a spiritual sequel to Ghosts and Goblins. They just changed the name to Maximo, but it plays really quite similar, and it's a lot of fun. It also reminds me a little bit of Medieval in the style of gameplay. Definitely a game that I would recommend looking into if you like Ghosts and Goblins. Then for €1 I picked up Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time for the GBA. And this is actually a pretty good game. Played through a couple of levels on this, and plays a bit like Aladdin for the Mega Drive, which is a good thing, I think. Very fluid animations, and some puzzles and hack and slash fighting. So yeah, for €1, definitely worth picking up. I bought a copy of Halo 2 for the Xbox. And actually I only bought this to resell it. I picked this up once before and found out that it was the German language version as well. This is German language as well, so I decided to sell it. I was a little bit surprised when it went for around €20 on eBay. So when I found this for €3, decided to pick it up only to resell it and make back some of the money I spent. So of course Halo 2 is a real classic, but I'm looking for the English language version of this. So. And then I picked up 4 PlayStation 3 games, paid €13 for all the games together. And as some of you might already know, I don't own a PlayStation 3. I am planning to get one at some point. First though, I have to get a flat screen or a projector or something. I only have like an old CRT TV there. So yeah, but I decided to pick these up, maybe sell 2 of them, make back my money, and keep the 2 titles that I want the most. UFC 2009 Undisputed. This is a mixed martial art fighting game. Looks pretty good, and the reviews are pretty good as well. But I might sell this. It's not really my type of game. So, and then I picked up Street Fighter 4, and this one is actually missing the manual. The other games are complete. And I'm gonna sell this as well. You know, normally I would keep it, but it's a German language version, and it's missing the manual. So, well, let's see. It depends if I'm able to sell it, because it doesn't really go for a lot of money on eBay right now, so it might be hard to sell this. So maybe I'll hold on to it, I'm not sure. But actually these 2 games are UK versions. The guy actually imported these from the UK, because in Germany censorship is pretty strict, and yeah, he imported this game to get the uncut versions of these, Saints Row 2, and this is one I'm definitely gonna hold on to. It plays like Grand Theft Auto, but just much more over the top. So looks like a fun game. Definitely something I'd like to play with. And this is the game that I thought seemed the most interesting. Dead Rising 2 came out 3 years ago in 2010, and this is a hack and slash zombie game. And it just looks like a lot of fun. You kind of build your own weapons, and you can put together different items to just make any kind of weapon you want, and basically you're just running around killing zombies. So that looks pretty promising. And yeah, that's it for my pickup video this time. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and until next time.